Hello and welcome to Trails to Azure Part 36. Today will hopefully be the last part of Day 2 of Chapter 3. I have to visit the doll studio, and that's the main quest for this. I don't know how long it will take. I assume it will be less than 2 hours. But if it passes an hour and a half into the save point, I'll stop there, but you never know with these games. But yeah, so yesterday we solved, not quite. We helped deal with Minith, who was a scam artist. It was a very unfulfilling quest line. Hey, look! A moving truck. Thank you again, Mesiter. You've been a great help. With these, we'll be all set for the debut of our new performance in a couple of days. So that's the tech on the side of Arc-en-Ciel, who sits by the light switches. Eidos above, your troop is far too demanding with its requests, each and every one of them. Tuning the automata would have been work enough, but designing an entirely new stage set on top of that? I'm a busy man, you know. Really do apologize for that. Ilya and the troop leader can have some pretty lofty standards sometimes. That extra mechanism they asked you to install was something they just couldn't live without. It doesn't matter now. I have no issue with lending my studio's expertise to service your plays. I'm sure the goddess would prefer it to the alternative. Thank you? Oh, come to think of it, Meister. We haven't received your response to our invitations yet. Arc-en-Ciel would be honored to have you attend the show. It'd be our pleasure, after the amazing set and automata you've provided us. Your mirror is thanks enough. I appreciate the gesture, but as I said, I'm a busy man. Oh. I told them he wouldn't go for it. Still, I'd love for him to see how his hard work is being used on stage at least once. Pardon us. Huh. Wait, aren't you the SSS? We are? You're the stage technician from Arc-en-Ciel, correct? Yep, the name's Heinz. I'm in charge of the props and equipment and such. What are all of you doing here? Come to see the Meister? Something like that. We had a little matter we wanted to consult him about. Are you here to pick up a commission? Yeah, we had an order for an automaton, tune-up, and some new set pieces. It was kind of short notice with the debut of the revival production coming up, but he did us a real solid getting it done so quickly. Ooh boy. To tell you the truth, everyone in the troupe owes the Mesiter Joerg, which I assume is just a large unit of money? You don't say. Speaking of which, isn't the revival performance only a couple of days away? That's right. Illy and the others are kicking it into high gear right about now. Heck, I've been getting into it myself. What with all the changes we made. Have you now? It's kind of wild that they only have their set stuff like a couple days before. It just seems more difficult to practice. Sounds like you're all primed to put on a real box office hit. That's the idea, but oh, whoops. I'm a little behind schedule. Gotta get back there and set this all up. See you guys later. Stop by and say hi to everyone when you get the chance. You'll be sure to. Be careful on your way back. We already knew the Meister was the one behind Arc-en-Ciel's theater magic and all. But man, it kinda makes you forget this place has ties with the society, huh? That it does. Well, at least we know the Meister isn't right now. I'm not sure if he'll be willing to tell us anything about the society. But we'll never know if we don't ask. Right. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I suppose. Come on. Like, I don't know why they would need to separate this as a cutscene. Like, they have those many really long cutscenes where if you had a pause in the middle, you could pause and take a break. But then this, like, couple-minute cutscene, they just don't have it auto. Once you enter, I guess this is why. Once you enter the doll studio, you will be unable to visit other areas outside of Crossbell City for the rest of the day. I'm gonna save real quick. Visit the doll studio. Lloyd, do you see Iron Knocker attached to the gate? Excuse us. This is the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. Meister Rosenberg, we'd like to have a word with you. There is no need to shout. My hearing is still perfectly fine. Whatever business you have must be important, if you've come all this way. I don't have very much time to spare, but I will make an exception this once, as long as you keep things short. What? She's so cute! A Rosenberg doll? An automaton? Okay, I can't speak. I was going automaton, but it's automated. An automated one by the looks of it. Enter. The little one will guide you. See to it that you don't wander anywhere you aren't supposed to. I guess it can't talk? Not that I was expecting it to. Get a load of this gal. Sure doesn't look like any machine I've ever seen. Mind taking us to where your master is, little miss? I think we're supposed to follow her. Right. We probably shouldn't keep the Meister waiting. Ouroboros. Just what kind of enemy are we dealing with? I wonder if they just let me leave. I am actually just going to follow it. On the assumption that... Oh, cool. So it triggered to walk further because I was closer. This is a furnace-y thing, which is cool. It's probably an oven, but... Lloyd and the rest of the SSS then follow the automaton inside. After going through what felt like a maze, they emerged into an underground section of the studio. Yeah, the symbol on the door. What is this place? Hey, it's Patermater. I thought Patermater left. Because I thought Ren had Patermater with her. It's incredible. Maybe it's not Patermater. Maybe it's an exact copy. Whoa. It's a backup Patermater. Is that it? The giant archaism you mentioned before? Yeah. Ren used it back at the Sun Fort. I believe she called it Pater Mater. So this is where it's been. So did it just fly to and from here whenever she needs it? What the hell is all this mechano crap doing down here anyway? I thought this was supposed to be a doll studio. I believe those terminals are connected to the Orbital network. This must have been where Kitty was remotely hacking the network. Well, what is it you want? Mesiter Joerg, thank you for allowing us to come in and speak with you. We had a few questions we were hoping to ask. Would they, by any chance, happen to be about what Campanella has been up to? So you know. Do not misunderstand. You are correct that I have ties to the society. In the end, however, I am nothing more than a humble doll maker. I am not directly involved with whatever grand scheme they have planned. So in other words, you can't tell us exactly what Campanella is plotting to do? I do not know, nor am I in any position to know. However, you should understand that he is an enforcer, not an Angui. He's not authorized to propose plans for the society to pursue. The Angui, rather, are the ones who draft such arrangements. Now, just hold on just a minute. This is a little... No, it isn't. He's literally just saying that Campanella doesn't make decisions. Like, this is a little too much to take in all at once. Isn't this insider information? Should you really be giving it to us so easily? It's not really that much information. It is hardly confidential. There are many on the continent who know of this already. The Church, the Guild, the intelligence agencies of the major powers, and even that is only scratching the surface. The society is so widely known, yet still you are able to freely continue making dolls here. As I said, I am not in a position to know all of the society's inner workings. Take the archaisms, for example. Their construction relies on technologies from many other workshops besides this one. My studio is but one scale on the ever-coiling serpent, which is why the Church and Guild will never set foot in here without due cause. I suppose that makes sense. Someone like you is more valuable while you're still attached to the snake. Which makes you a handy source of info, except he doesn't have that much info. Correct. That being said, this studio has already been preemptively outfitted for any contingencies. Even should you break the front door down with an arrest warrant, all you would find is an empty and meager doll studio. Nothing more. Not even Pater Mater. Well, would you like to try your hand at taking me into custody, having heard all of that? You may not have another chance. No, that's not why we're here. You've made your point. We'd like to inquire further, if you're willing to answer. Lloyd? I guess that's all we can do, but it doesn't mean I like it. I mean, of all the people to catch, he seems like the lead. Like, yes, he's supplying archaisms, but like, he's not pushing forward plans of his own. It's like, he's less bad than Campanella. He's less bad than whatever the doctor's name was. He's less bad than the other professor guy. But doesn't mean he's a good guy, but he's less bad. A wise decision. I take it you'd like to know something more concrete than veiled statements and broad outlines. Narrow your questions down to 3, and I will answer them if I can. Fair enough. What 3 things should we ask him about? I'm assuming it's basically boom, boom, boom. But I'll start with the third one, on the assumption that all of these are probably questions that I'm going to ask. But if they aren't, I think the third one is the most important. The DG cult, you mean? As far as I know, the two sides never had any direct ties. Having said that, it is a fact that the Society was the one that destroyed the lodge where Ren was being held. What? You're referring to Paradise, right? Yes. My understanding is that the cult used it to lure in and exploit influential individuals from around the continent. In all likelihood, it was brought down because it began to target influential individuals the Society was backing. It's nothing short of a miracle that Ren survived that place. Yeah, like she retreated into her own mind and stuff. That hellhole deserved to get wiped out. But it's not like that makes Ouroboros the good guys either. I hope you didn't expect that explanation to win us over. He didn't. Like, as I said, I'm only telling you what I know. Take it how you will. So let's ask about the Angui. One of them is dead. Hey, that left one is kind of a spoiler. Because we haven't actually met them here yet. Are they in... No, but Cold Steel released way after this, right? Like, at least a few years later. I think you meet the character on the left in Cold Steel. Yeah, released in 2013. And... Azure released in 2011. So you don't meet that character on the left until Cold Steel, I'm pretty sure. So it's weird that they are showing what they look like, because that will spoil when you eventually presumably meet them in their normal perspective. Or maybe we meet them later in Azure, in which case it's spoiling stuff later doesn't actually matter. Yeah, it's kind of odd. Wait. Okay, no, she was apparently in Trails in the Sky the Third. It seems like she's present later in this game. So that's why they show a clear image of her. But yeah. Middle guy is dead. He got turned to salt. Right guy is present in this game already. Left person's presumably going to show up later. And I think they might have been present in the third in a visual manner, which is why they're shown there. The Angui. They are the 7 snake apostles who live and serve to realize the Grand Master's plans. Even I do not know all of their identities. However, I am aware of the Angui that will be arriving in Crossbow before long, which would be left. Is there any way you can tell us more about them? One is a man, the 6th Angui to be precise. He leads the 13 factories that comprise Ouroboros' technological network. He is society's greatest theoretician, an engineer with an insatiable appetite. Needless to say, he is a contemptible man. You clearly have a high opinion of him. Just how contemptible are we talking? He is the sort of man who cares for nothing but satisfying his own intellectual curiosity. I am unsure what he hopes to achieve by coming to this land in person. But I can say this for certain. His arrival is nothing but good news. Is anything but good news for Crossbell. I definitely, like, nothing but good news. No, that's anything but good news for Crossbell. We'll take your word for it. He will not be alone, however. The 7th Angui, the Steel Maiden, will also be coming to Crossbell. The Steel Maiden? That's got an ominous ring if I've ever heard one. She is an enigma, to say the least. Briefly put, she is a masterful warrior whom you have no hope of defeating, even if you were to face her all at once. She's that strong. Like, Arios is that strong. Like, Arios could beat all 6 of us at once, by himself, and he wouldn't break a sweat. At this point in time, I think. Like, it's not that weird that she's strong. She's that strong, because, like, you guys are still technically pretty weak. Heh. Trying to wingman your fellow conspirators, I see. It was merely a word of warning. Unlike the 6th Ongui, I've heard the 7th Ongui is a virtuous individual. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Ouroboros. They're not all absolutely contemptible people. Some of them are okay. However, were you to face her unprepared, it would surely cost you your lives. As I already told you, even I am not familiar with the details of the grand scheme. From what little I've heard in passing, however, I do know what it is called. The Phantasmal Blaze Plan. Phantasmal Blaze? Now there's a name rife with symbolism. This plan, does it entail causing some sort of widespread incident in Crossbell, like the one in Liberal last year? That can't be. There's no way we could just let that happen. Stop making me repeat myself. I do not know the details. What I can tell you is that the Society's intervention here pales in comparison to what happened in Liberal. The Society prefers to operate from the shadows above all else. They aren't the type to make their move on the surface. Was that supposed to make us feel better? Because it sure as hell ain't working. Seconded, the fact that you can give us nothing but a name makes whatever they're doing all the more suspect. That makes 3 questions I've answered. You've taken up enough of my time. I'm going to have to ask you to leave now. But no. Lloyd. Fine. That's what we agreed to, so we'll just be going. For now. Would you mind if we return for another one of these talks? If I feel so inclined. Keep the following in mind. It is not only Ouroboros that you should have your sights set on. There are other forces to be cautious of in the wake of Crossbell's bid for independence, wouldn't you say? I guess so. The man's got a point. Sounds like you probably know a thing or 3 about that, too. Maybe so, maybe not. Off you go. Follow the little one like you did on your way here. If you wander off, I can't guarantee your safety. That's cute. I like the doll. I feel like I just came out of a bad dream. The Phantasmal Blaze Plan, and the 2 Ongui making their way to Crossbell to enact it. It's so fantastical, I can barely bring myself to believe it. Just how dangerous are they? From what I've heard about the Liberal incident, very. We can't take the threat they pose lightly. Still, if what the Mesiter told us is true, whatever they're planning in Crossbell isn't as extensive as it was in Liberal. That'd be a relief. I hear they had an enormous battleship to contend with. Not to mention that giant archaism, Pater Mater. Where did you get that info? The first vision has it all labeled as classified. Don't tell me you hear about these kinds of things while working as a host, too. Heh, my lips are sealed. Is something wrong, you two? Well, Yeah, just a little. Tio taught my people to explain it better than I could. You mind? She can hear something? I will make an attempt. Having seen the automaton that guided us in and out of the studio, it's become clear the society is far more mischievous than they are malevolent. See, I like that. Mischievous? Yes. They have more technological prowess than both the Epstein Foundation and Zeiss Central Factory, yet squander it by choice. Consider the research necessary to develop Pater Mater. It would have been more practical to use those same resources to build 50 airships. Well, not necessarily, because Pater Mater could fight several airships, and they could just make more. You think so? Perhaps they have a source of funding, one deeper than we may realize? Maybe. But whether you're an army or a crime syndicate, efficiency is typically the highest priority of any organization. Recreation typically doesn't have much of a place there, if at all, but Ouroboros turns all of that on its head. That makes their motives and rationale all the more baffling to me. See, it makes them a fun villain, because they're not, like, crazy. Took the words right out of my mouth. Like, they're not just driven to wipe the entire world out. The thing about it is, no matter how many ennui and archaisms they've got hidden up their sleeves, the Red Constellation and Heiue are probably more of an actual threat, realistically speaking. And that ain't even taking into account whatever the Empire and the Republic are up to. That's true. Put all four of them into one autonomous state together, and you've got a disaster waiting to happen. All four of them. I guess they mean Red Constellation, Heiue, Empire, Republic? Like, that's what they mean by four? But, like, they're sort of, they already have their lines that they sort of follow, but this kitchen already has too many cooks without the society. The big question is, what do they plan to bring to the table? Who's to say? Even backing the terrorists at the trade conference was allegedly on a complete whim on their part. They don't seem to have any interest in involving themselves with conventional power struggles. In that case, would that make what they are working towards as unconventional as everything else they do? That would mean we're completely in over our heads trying to do anything about it. All we can say for sure is that whatever it is, it can't be good for Crossbell. It could be. It could be good in the long run. It probably isn't. At any rate, we should return home for now. I want to relay all of this to the chief. After that, we should do the same for the CGF and the guild. Regardless of what the society is after, the least we can do is make sure we're ready for them. I agree. Good call. Back to the city we go. It's just weird that they don't just cutscene me back. I wonder what happens if I run the wrong way later. I don't know why I ran this way. Red flies. Okay, they're gonna cutscene me. Oh, my enigma. Who could it be? It could be literally anyone. I get the feeling someone's in need of our services. Lloyd Banning's... Nope. Special support section. Lloyd Banning speaking. Lloyd! Thank goodness I finally got a hold of you. Uh-oh, hi friend. Have you been trying to contact us for a while? I have. But for some reason, none of my calls were able to get through. I even tried everyone else's enigmas, but they were a total no-go too. There must have been an orbital wave jammer in the basement of the studio. Sorry about that. We end up wandering out of signal range. What's going on? Do you have an urgent support request for us? Not quite, no. Half an hour ago, there was a train derailment on West Crossbell Highway. A what? Are you serious? I wish I wasn't. The 2nd Division is en route to investigate the scene. The CGF's on its way too, so there's probably no need for you to go. But I figured I should keep you guys in the loop, just to be safe. Got it. Thanks for telling us, Fran. If you find out more, let us know as soon as you can. Roger that. Is something the matter? Did Fran have something important to tell us? Well. What the hell? A derailment. It just went right off the tracks? Yeah. Fran said the 2nd Division and the CGF are on their way there, so we can probably leave it to them. Then again, it would be hard to turn away from something so concerning. I'll say, the timing is a little too suspicious for my tastes. I have my doubts that this was just a mere accident. Oh wait. What should we do now? We have until the end of the day to report on what we've learned about the society. Can't you just report it tomorrow? For now, let's go to the scene of the accident. We can't overlook the possibility that some sort of foul play was involved, whether from a cryptid or otherwise. At the very least, we can lend a hand to investigating the crash site. Agreed. We should hurry. Probably best to take our new ride if we're looking to get there ASAP. Ouroboros can now travel to the scene of the train accident. I have no reason to rest because I haven't had any fighting in a while. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. For a second I somehow forgot we were in the north and not like here. That's interesting. Like if I look at these, some names disappear. Bellegarde Gate becomes the big text there. West Crossbow Highway, the text doesn't disappear. Train derailment, it does disappear. Like some of the names disappear when you interact with them. Like Boathouse, Tangram Gate, but that's only the red ones that disappear. Whereas this one's black, but it disappears. Like they weren't totally consistent with their system. Because everywhere else, it's this red text that disappears when you highlight the location. Whereas this one, the black text, it really should be red text, I think. Like I think this should be red, because then when you highlight it, it behaves consistently with the rest of the text. And it would be more obvious. Ambulance. Oh no, that's us, probably. Why would we stop here? Oh, because it's an ambulance. Okay. Why does our police car not have sirens? And they're also just red sirens, not like fun red and blue or red and another color. Were those ambulances just now? No. Correct. All of them are registered to St. Ursula Hospital. There were 3 of them too. Damn. Do you suppose they were transporting those who were injured from the derailment? Given the timing, I wouldn't doubt it. Cecil and the rest of the hospital are going to have a long day ahead of them. We have to get to the scene of the accident. Roger that. Why don't they have a siren on their police car? Okay, pull over to the side. Don't just stop in the middle. Okay, they did pull over. Good. Those buses just now. They looked like the ones used to carry people traveling to and from the Republic. They must be transporting the rest of the passengers that were on the train. Damn, what a shit show. It makes me wonder how extensive the scale of the accident is. Those wheels are spinning a bit too much. Hello, hello. Yo, Lloyd. You guys made it. Hey, friends. So you're on this case too? Well, we're not technically on this case, so you're on this case. That's it. Hello there, Noelle. Randy. Thank you both for coming as well. Of course. It's good to see you, Dahlia. Looks like we're in the right place. What's the situation? Commander Bales and the police are currently investigating the scene of the accident. Inspector Donovan and Detective Raymond from the 2nd Division are leading our department's efforts. From what I could tell, it looked like a mess. The trains went clean off the tracks. It's going to take a long time to get them cleared and repaired. And what of the passengers? No fatalities, thank the goddess. But a few were in critical condition. Those most in need of medical attention were carried away by ambulances a little while ago. Yeah, we saw them on our way here. And the other passengers, they were transferred to buses for the remainder of their trip? Yeah. There was one round of them arranged. Oh, okay, round of buses, not round of people. There was one round of them arranged for passengers headed from Crossbell City, and another for those going to Altair. It was chaos sorting it all out. I can imagine. It's not every day you have to do damage control for an accident this severe. Speaking of which, we should make our way to the scene ourselves. Are we clear to pass through? Yeah, you should be good to go. I doubt anyone's going to complain. Feel free to head in whenever you're ready. So yeah, this is the pathway through that we can go through. The issue here is I have to save because there's a chance that one of these people will have some random book. The chest. Can't help but question if it's really a coincidence. Row reporters. Please don't be Grace. I hope it's not Grace. Exclamation mark. Oh no. I mean, yes, a train derailment will look like a train derailment. It's horrific. Oh, that's not right. Those windows do not have a correct perspective through them. The left ones more than the front ones. Oh boy. This is some accident we've got on our hands. Do you know what caused the derailment yet? No. As you can see, the investigation is still underway. The current working theory is that the front car was derailed due to a fallen rock on the track. The rest followed suit. My apologies, but I'm going to have to insist that any members of the media leave the accident site. We need to focus on beginning the cleanup and repair efforts immediately. Seriously? But Commander Bales, I understand that the police would like to prioritize the investigation. However, this is the Transcontinental Railroad we're standing on, the most important transit line in all of Zemuria. We're under pressure from Mayor Kwa, the Imperial and Republican governments, and the Railroad Corporation to fix this ASAP. The CGF has no choice but to comply. I get your logic, ma'am. I really do, but I'm with the detective. If you don't get to the bottom of what happened here, it could happen again, right? I am aware. However, I can only permit that the investigation be carried out concurrently alongside the repairs, which will be until this evening at the very latest. That is how long we've been given. There's no way they'd be able to fix this railway in that short of a time. That is physically impossible to ensure that it's safe to use. Because they would have to run at least some tests to verify. The heavy machinery we've requisitioned will be arriving soon. We need to... Hold on just a moment. It's weird that they made the rails 3D. The SSS. Whoa ho. It's Lloyd and the gang. Ah, you guys came to scope out the scene too, huh? Excuse us, Commander. But did we hear you correctly? You're going to start cleaning up the accident before a proper investigation can be made? You're still a member of the CGF Seeker. I trust you haven't forgotten how vital this rail line is to Crossbell. I didn't want to put this so bluntly. But if we delay repairing the railroad, it'll give the Empire and the Republic all the excuse they need to intervene. I know that, but it's far from an unlikely scenario, unfortunately. Not much I can do to protest against an argument like that. Give me a break. We still have a duty to get to the bottom of this mess. Grace should really take a ton of pictures, get a lot of perspective around the scene, and then if they miss something, they can check again later. Commander Bales. Give us just 30 minutes. No, until the equipment arrives. We'll get this all sorted out. You? Yes, given Crossbell's current political climate, I'm not ready to chalk this accident up as just an unfortunate coincidence. Don't you think we should at least determine whether there was any foul play involved? It is also possible that this accident is relevant to our cryptid investigation. Look at it this way. You let us do our thing, and everyone walks away with some peace of mind. I never thought I'd see the day that I would be the impatient one between the two of us, Orlando. Very well, Inspector Donovan. We will start by prioritizing the investigation of the accident scene. Once the equipment arrives, however, our focus will shift to fixing the rails. You won't hear any complaints from us. Let's do this. And we'll just stay out of your hair while we collect our material. I have no objections. You're free to look around until the formal repairs begin, on the condition that you in no way interfere with the investigation of the site. Am I clear? Crystal! Would you mind if we got a first-hand look at the scene as well, Inspector? Don't even have to ask. We'll tackle it together. You should speak with the conductor. He's resting over there. I really think the conductor probably should have gone to the hospital. He'll be your... Oh yeah, at least the engineer had to go to the hospital. That makes sense, at least. I don't know where the conductor... I know the engineer's in the front. I don't know if conductors are usually in the front or not. He'll be your best bet. More likely than not. Unfortunately, the engineer got nicked up in the crash and was taken to the hospital. Understood. Alright, let's get investigating. I'm gonna save here. Just extra saves. Nothing here. What's the word, Lloyd? You figure anything out? No, nothing yet. What about you, Grace? Do you have any leads that could help with our investigation? Well, let's see. I've been thinking about it, and I know these kinds of accidents can and do happen sometimes, but there's something really off about all this. The timing and location are as bad as they could have been. You're right. Not only is an accident this severe rare, it happened while Crossbell is in flux over the independence proposal. It calls into question whether this was something more purposeful than just a twist of fate. I've got my suspicions, but they're just that. Wouldn't want to fill your head with baseless hunches. Anyway, good luck with your investigation. And if you find anything juicy, you'd better give me the inside scoop. Haha, we'll do what we can. I kind of hope Grace is never a villain. It would be such a sad twist if she became a villain. Looking at the scene of the accident puts chills down my spine. You think I'd be prepared for this, working in journalism. Still, it's our job to uncover the truth of what happened, and that means I have a duty to snap as many good shots as I can. A picture's worth 1,000 words, as they say. Just one of these photos could end up containing vital evidence. This would be the locomotive. The most essential car of the train. Without one, it would be unable to move at all. Inside is the engineer's cab and the Orbital engine, produced by the Reinford Company. That's all very educational and all, but doesn't something about this seem off to you? I was just thinking the same thing. There's not nearly as much damage on it as I would have pictured. You're right, it's a little unnatural, considering it's the frontmost car. Think about it. Had it collided with something head-on, it wouldn't still be this pristine. Whatever caused the derailment must have hit from somewhere else. Like, that is wild looking. Like, the fact you can see the rock in there, that doesn't really make that much sense that it would punch through that cleanly. But it doesn't actually matter. Okay. I'll talk to him at last. Now that I've gotten a good look at it all, this was one hell of an accident. Thank Eidos there weren't any fatalities. I believe most passengers were not taken to the hospital. Who were not taken to the hospital were transferred by bus to the Republic. Unfortunately, that means we can't take any statements from them now. Well, sometimes you gotta work with what you got. Speaking of which, have you spoken with the conductor yet? He's resting by that rock over there. He was too shaken to remember anything useful when we talked to him earlier. But maybe he's calmed down by now. Make sure to hear what he has to say. Yes, gently guiding. Oh, that's an impact. What do you suppose happened here? We were thinking a rock might have rolled down the nearby cliff and derailed the train. Maybe this is where it made impact? The possibility's there, given the spherical dent on the side. I don't know about that. How do you explain these giant scratches here in the center then? When you think about it, the position's a lot farther up than you'd expect, too. I don't think a simple fallen rock would have left marks like these. If that's the case, then just what did collide with the train? A tiger? We investigated each individual car as much as we could, just to be thorough. But unfortunately, it didn't turn up anything. No clues to be had. You sure? Not one thing suspicious on a train that large? Not really. It's just the passenger's luggage in there now, and nothing seemed off about any of it. All signs are pointing to the derailment being caused by some external force. Yeah, guess so. I wouldn't get too close to this train car if I were you. It's holding its balance for now, but it could still tip over at the drop of a hat. Boom. Game over. There's so much glass and debris to clear out. We can't risk even one pebble staying on the railway, so we've got to be thorough and clean all of this up. They don't have cool track-clearing laser cars, because they're apparently, in some parts of the world, trains with basically lasers on the front to make sure the tracks are clear. And it's just kind of neat. They definitely don't have those here. Okay, that's clearly suspicious. Hey Murray, how's the repair work going? I would say it's proceeding just as well as the investigation is. But until the heavy machinery arrives to help out us move the train itself, there's only so much we're able to do. For now, the best we can manage is to clear the debris from the track. I figured that'd be the case. We could lend a hand if you need it. No, you don't have to put yourselves out. The 6 of you should focus on figuring out what happened. We'll inform you if you discover anything that might help. When the call came in about an accident, I didn't imagine it would be something of this scale. It's going to take a considerable amount of resources to get these railway tracks fully refurbished, and yet somehow they're going to get it done by evening. What a day. I should be thanking the goddess I'm okay, at least compared to the poor people who got carted away by those ambulances. I've never seen a train fly off the tracks so violently before. You're the conductor, correct? If you wouldn't mind, could you give us your account of what happened at the time of the derailment? Sure, if that's what you want. I'll do my best to tell you how it happened. The detective over there asked me earlier, but I think I was still too shaken to give a halfway decent statement. It all happened so suddenly, you know? I couldn't help being a little out of it. That's perfectly understandable, with how severe the accident was. We can't expect you to recall every little thing. Any normal person would be in shock after going through something like that. Exactly. As things stand, even the tiniest detail could prove helpful. Do you remember seeing or hearing anything suspicious? Anything at all? Suspicious? Well... Oh, now that you mention it, yeah, maybe. Something spring to mind? It was right before the derailment happened, while I was on the comms with the engineer. He just started yelling out of nowhere. I remember him shouting, "What is that?" or something along those lines. The accident happened moments later. The front car derailed, and the rest of them followed, one after another. And, well, you know how the story goes from there. Now I'm out here talking to you. Evidently, the engineer was caught by surprise. From the sound of it, he must have seen something he couldn't believe. Which leaves us with one question. What was it that he spotted? Okay. Nothing new. Nothing new yet. Go around the back, I assume. It's pretty major destruction. Oh. Look at the marks on the cliffside. They're enormous. It's like the whole surface has been carved into. Parts of the ground have been gouged out too. The trains must have derailed towards the left-hand side. Quick question. Why do you suppose these streaks in the wall are so blue? I believe those would be flecks of paint. That's brutal. That's gotta be it. You can tell it's the same color as the train cars themselves, but there's no yellow. After the train derailed, it must have scraped along the rocks for a ways, leaving these blue skid marks. No doubt, but look how far along they run. How could the train even stay against the wall for that long? Looks like we might need to rethink the actual circumstances that led to these marks. Okay, I think we've gathered as much intel here as we can. We have? Already? Enough for Lloyd, anyway. It had better be enough for him, because I sure as hell haven't connected any dots. I may have put a thing or two together on my end. What's your next step? Should we review the information we have thus far? Yeah, let's do that. We should call over the commander and Inspector Donovan, too. So, has your investigation yielded anything insightful? That's the hope. First, I want to address the possibility of the derailment being caused by a fallen rock on the tracks. From our investigation, I believe it's safe to rule out that possibility. Really? Why? I take it you have some line of reasoning to back that claim up? Naturally, you see... I mean, this would work too. I assume this is the one they're looking for. Because it scratches? Come on. It does. Because those scratches are clearly not made by a rock in any way possible. You know what I'm going to do? Reload. Detective points because that's dumb. I'm complaining. Because the scratches are so clearly not made by a rock that it would inherently say, yeah, this wasn't caused by a rock. Okay, I need to talk to everybody again. Talk to everybody in the same way I did previously. Because if you look at this, it's so clearly not caused by a rock. But now I know that if I want to save, I can save just before that point of interaction. And also actually want to talk to the other guys a bit. Because I skipped these guys being like, oh, I'll talk to them later, but... This whole fiasco really did a number on the tracks. They're all torn up. Judging by the damage, I'd say the derailment started right around here. I can't believe the train ended up blocking both sides of the tracks at once. I can only imagine how terrified the passengers must have been when it went off the rails. I actually don't need to read this again. So they're gonna say this one, which also worked. Both of those work. What? How does... oh, they mean on the tracks? Is that what they're complaining about? A rock on the tracks and not a rock hitting it on the side? Is that what they're actually complaining about? That doesn't make any sense to me, but... So I'm gonna read this carefully. Caused by a fallen rock on the tracks. Okay. I thought that had already been ruled out by default. We found more than a few areas of suspicion during our investigation. But the decisive factor was how pristine the front of the locomotive still was. Why do you need that explained? It's true that there's less damage at the front, but what does that prove? If it ran into a rock, it would cause damage in the front? Logically, if the derailment was caused by a fallen rock landing on the tracks, the train would have collided with it head-on. For the mass of a high-speed train to lose balance and derail, the impact would have had to be substantial. If that had really happened, then the evidence of it would be more apparent. Oh, I think I get it. When all's said and done, the front of the first car is hardly dinged up at all, and there's no rock or rock debris that would have been smashed by it running into it. That rules out the initial and most obvious explanation. Indeed it does. That is a fact we can't afford to overlook. In that case, what do you suspect is the true cause of the derailment? At first I had to consider whether this was possibly the work of some kind of explosive. Explosive? You're saying this could have been a Jaeger operation, but he's already ruled out that it's not an explosive. Or worse, a terrorist group? I'll admit, my mind wandered there pretty quickly too. That's why I kept my eyes peeled. But as far as I could tell, there weren't any traces of explosives. I would hope not. We've already accounted for that, and we didn't find anything of the sort either. So after ruling that out, there's only one other possibility left remaining. There was indeed a collision, but not from the front. Whatever it was, it rammed itself into the train from the right-hand side. Why are they shocked? There's a huge dent in the side. This is garbage writing. Excuse me? Rammed? What, like, on purpose? That's insane. Technically, it could be a rock that fell and hit it on the side. Like, rock falls happen. It isn't a rock, but... This is starting to sound less like a train derailment and more like a car chase. Now I understand. That would explain the dent on the right side of the locomotive. You think? This is not well written. Yeah, here's the way I think it went. First, our unknown culprit landed right next to the train as it barreled down the track at full speed. Because it's fully possible that a rock fell down the side of the cliff and impacted the side of the train. Super unlikely, and the scratches indicate that it's not a rock. But like, just because it was hit on the side doesn't mean it was intentional. Because rocks can fall off the sides. First, our unknown culprit landed right next to the train and it barreled down the track at full speed. That was likely the moment the conductor heard the engineer yelling on the comms. After that, the assailant began to run alongside the train before ramming it from the right, causing the dent. Force led the leading locomotive to derail towards the left-hand side. But our assailant didn't stop at that. It continued to push the locomotive into the cliff on the far end. From there, the train eventually skidded to a stop, leaving marks on the rocks along the way. As for the cars following behind, they ended up scattering off the rails in every direction. That's my working hypothesis, given what we know right now. Huh. Well done. You looked at the most obvious piece of evidence. You really are Guy's little brother, you know? Hell, your sleuthing skills may be even better than his. No kidding. Guy's style of investigating was less thorough and more instinctive. Hey, watch it. He's ours. This is not well written. They're just trying to play him up. It doesn't make any... Like the only reason it's like, oh, impressive discovery, is because everyone ignored the obvious dent on the side for some reason. The obvious dent, there's nothing on the front, boom, something hit it from the side. Like, that's the obvious conclusion. And there's no reason to assume it was an assailant, because it could have just been a rock fall, but there's no rocks. So, like, with that additional information, you know it's not a rock, but... Hehe, and we're proud to have him. Kudos, O wise leader. Even I couldn't think that far ahead. Like, very impressive. But it does leave one question, Detective Bannings. The identity of this unknown culprit. Do you suspect this to be the work of some sort of monster? Or was it perhaps caused by another of those recently spotted cryptids? Well, when you look at the facts, we can't say for sure yet, or it's a likely conclusion. I'll say you can't say for sure yet. There's no question a cryptid would have the strength to derail a running train, based on our experience. But while I can understand why that would be the most likely explanation, I can't say for certain just yet. I agree. Cryptids have only spawned in the presence of higher elements thus far, and I sense no sign of them. Not to mention we didn't see those blue plants anywhere nearby either. Yes, I'm inclined to agree. However, this only further raises the question of just what it is we're dealing with. I mean, it's certainly not Potter Mater scale. The Society's archaisms are a possible candidate too, though I'm not sure how likely that is. Are they really the type to resort to such a drastic and blatant attack? Rawr. Well, what was that? It sounded like a monster. And it's no ordinary one either, judging by that blood-curdling cry. Let me scan the area. Alarm system. Activate. Where is it? Where? Rains, get the photo quartz ready. We're getting a shot one way or another. You can't be serious, Grace. Ancient beating. Distance 10 Selga and moving. It is escaping to the west. Let's chase after it. Roger, Wilco. Affirmative. What? Are you out of your minds? The CGF will back you up. No, you should keep working on the cleanup efforts. You have a schedule to keep. We'll go and give chase. If you're certain. I'm not entirely comfortable with it, but we have no other choice. Someone has to be here when the heavy machinery arrives. Stay in contact. If anything happens, we'll come to your aid. Understood, ma'am. Dum dum dum. Wazzy knows something. Why are we walking? We should be running. Come on, pick up the pace. Grace, you wouldn't happen to be planning to come along with us, would you? Well, can't deny I was considering it, but I get it. This situation seems stickier than usual, so I'll hang back this time. For now, we'll head back to Crossbow City and draft up a breaking report. As soon as we get the rest of our people together, we'll return to gathering some more material. That should be safe enough. Besides, if you guys followed us and got attacked, you might never get a chance to make that report. You can say that again. I don't know what this thing you're chasing is, but it's gotta be nasty if it caused a whole derailment. We're clearly not chasing it, we're sitting here having a relaxed conversation. You'd better be careful and come back in one piece. I won't be able to get an interview out of you otherwise. We will. Thanks, Grace. I'm gonna try to finish this quest today. Alright, let's start our pursuit. First, we'll need to head west on the highway. Claro. Let's go bag us a monster. I'm assuming they're not gonna let me drive, right? Maybe they are. They aren't. What a shame. Because realistically, we should just be able to set our destination to the end, drive towards the end, and if we spot it along the way, jump out. It'll be faster, we'll actually catch up to it that way. Oh, it's a rainbow palm. Come on, don't chase me, please. No! I can't get into there and get a Sepith up turn. Because if you can get a Sepith up turn, and then get a multi-hit attack, you can get a ton of Sepith from Rainbow Palms. But instead I one-shot it because it's under-leveled. And I only got like 15 of each. There it is again. He's coming from the west. Don't gotta have Teotot level the perception to tell that much. It almost feels as though we're being beckoned, like when we first met Zeit. I concur. However, unlike them, I am sensing a hostile intent. Either we're dealing with a monster of considerable intelligence, or something else entirely. Regardless, we need to be careful. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I kind of wish this just cutscened us to there, because there's no reason to run through all this area. What was that? It sounded like something shattering. It wasn't an explosion either. It came from the south. Hurry! I have to say, the map is very weird looking. The fact that this is west and not this is odd. Always best to save. A jailbreak? Just look at this! This gate is supposed to be made of some kind of a reinforced alloy, too. Unbelievable! There's no way this was done by some ordinary monster. What? Was derailing a moving train not enough? What the hell are we going up against here? Well, no time to sleep on it. We'd better continue the pursuit before it gets away from us. If it makes it to the deepest part of the forest, we're going to have trouble keeping up. Yeah, good point. Why is Wazi acting so strange? Because he knows what it is, right? Like, he almost certainly knows exactly what this is, or has a good idea. Is he coming here to kill the cryptid that was down there? Everything here is in shambles. And these marks are fresh, too. Only one thing that can mean. What's responsible is likely just below. I can confirm that. My sensors are picking up movement beneath us. That isn't all. There's another strange presence. One that I can't quite put my finger on. Really? Not even you? Down this rope here is the survival training area. It's the heart of Nox Forest, a sprawl of dense woodland almost completely untouched by man. If we're going down there to chase our culprit, we'll need to be prepared. You're right. I've been there once for training at the police academy. The visibility's so bad you can barely see 5 Arga in front of you. This is going to be one of our most dangerous missions yet. Ellie, Tio, Wazi, you three had better stay back. Honestly, Lloyd, I would consider you to be a bigger liability here than the rest of us. Yeah, like... Okay. The reason he's like, no Tio or Noel is because he is slightly sexist. Thinking they're weak. And the reason he wants Wazi to leave is because he's not a member of the military and he's a new guy. But Wazi clearly knows a lot more than he says. But if you think otherwise, we'd be happy to compare Sepith lines, sweetheart. Cause I think those 3 actually have the best Sepith lines. I get where you're coming from, Lloyd. The terrain down there is no joke. Still, I think you'll be fine. We'll be fine if we work together. Yeah, we're a team. If anyone can pull through this, it's us. Okay, you made your point. They really need to just stop with that. I'm gonna call it a gag. Like, every time there's a scenario, he's like, you people stay. You people don't go. Like, come on. It's overdone. Just keep in mind that we have no idea what's waiting for us down there. Let's descend only once we're ready. Of course. Roger. I mean, we're clearly not going to go anywhere to get ready, but if I look at their Sepith, like 5-1, 6, and 5-1 are like the best. Like pretty bad, pretty bad. Actually, I think his is better than hers, and his is like better than both of theirs. Like best, second best is tied with these two. Then it's him, then it's him, then it's her. Probably should actually see if I have quartz to equip. I don't think there's really anything. What's invigorate? Feels like it's a buff. Not good. I really probably would benefit from getting some more mirage quartz on her. I just wanna, I mean, my quartz setups are absolutely pitiful. They're still like base tier basically. I'm gonna save here. If I need to go back because my setup is bad, I can go back. Okay, we're all set. Me and Randy will climb down first. After that, Ellie, Tio, and Wazzy will climb down at one at a time. Noel, I want you to bring up the rear and watch our 6. Heard. You can count on me. Alright, you want to contact the commander before we head down? Yeah, good call. If the CGF isn't too busy with the repairs, having them as backup would be a huge help. Ooh. Spooky. Look at all the grass. And all the chests. Nox Forest. This is gonna take a long time, I think. Look! Pleroma grass? What the hell? Well, this was here 2 months ago. It must have begun blooming recently. Tio, can you sense the higher elements? Yeah. Yes, time, space, and mirage are all accounted for. This would explain the strange presence I felt on the surface. Looks like it, yeah. 50 Mira says these training grounds are even more grueling than what you're used to, thanks to them. I sure wouldn't take that bet. Finding your way around this place is tricky enough already. And now we have more than just getting lost to worry about. Be on the alert for any monsters around. Got it. I don't know. Ooh, what the? It's a Pokemon that makes me think of. Broink? The pig with a springtail? I like this map. I hate it, but I like it. So I have to go left first because that will loop around there, and then the right is progress. Nice and quick. Oh, that's cool. It looks kind of like a chameleon because of its eyes. What are they going to call it? Army chameleon. Come on, turn around. Turn around. It'll be much faster. Oh, burst gauge in the top corner. This is another variant of an enemy we fought a dozen times already. Hey, not ideal. I didn't actually expect I would one-shot him. They don't have a lot of HP. Ooh, that was a ton of experience, wow. Celestial Bomb. Which one of you do you think is a bigger mess? Crossbow's political climate or Ilia's room? Ha ha ha. Got him. No, I don't want a fair fight. Because burst, the team rush saves so much time. I think actually just grinding experience here would be really productive. Because these guys are giving a ton of experience. Especially these egg guys, because these egg guys are very squishy. Like, as long as I can get enough effective hits on them, they're very easy to kill. Like, this gives me... How much Sepith does this give? Like, they're gonna level up. So much experience. Trinity card 2... That's a lot of base Sepith. That's actually very helpful. It makes me want to grind. Just to get all of that built up. But I'm not going to, because that would be a major waste of time. It wouldn't be a waste, but like it would take a lot of time. I guess going for these 3. How helpful that is. Like, oh hey, here. You get a bonus turn, but you can't do anything with it, because... How effective this is. I hate it. That color change is incredibly annoying. And this is... Okay, because I couldn't have gone that way even if I tried. Turn, please. What do they call these? Hooty hoot. I might as well heal if I press the right button. Can I breath? Nice. Quartz fragment important. Genevieve, a beauty in the eyes of all, had long been ruled by her father, an aggressive businessman who longed for profits and peerage. Even after marriage, her nervous habit of finding imperfections remained. Bum bum bum. I can't remember which character Genevieve is. I think she's the one who married the sort of main dude while having an outside lover, but not actually. There was no proof of it, it was just an assumption. I guess I burst. They're very loud. Inefficient. Hey, death. Seeds. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm gonna have to come back here from a separate path. So I have to get up over there. And then find my way back through that. Hooty hoot. Come on, hooty hoot. Turn around. There you go. Okay, nice and quick. Good Sepith as well. Like, this area would be great to just fight in for a while. Just to get Sepith. And experience. These guys die super quick. You get a ton of experience, you get a ton of Sepith. These egg guys give like 8 of the primary ones each. No death proc. Keep him healthy. Oh, it's been such a long time since there's been a nice exploration component of this game. Past like 2 days have just been like story. Interact with people, not exploring the unknown. I guess I fought cryptids a couple times, like that's still not no exploration involved. It's nice. If a chest is looted in the forest, does it make a sound? That philosophical thing never really interested me. It's like, oh, it's sort of the only real question to it is, do you define sound as sound only if it's perceived? And that, to me, it's just sort of like, why would something only be a sound if it's perceived by a human? It's kind of like, I don't get the point, but maybe there's some other element to it that I just don't understand, which would be very likely because I actually just don't care about it. Please don't be high level. Please be one I can actually fight. It's chameleons, this is gonna be a pain. Okay, no instant. Let me just burst them as fast as I can before they go invisible. I can hit 5 there. I think that's the most I'll get. And honestly, let's just overload and just be safe. I'm fighting a lot of basic enemies that I don't need to consume resources to kill, so... It's too loud, too slow. I want to see if I can shoot a guy. I assume they're actually just gone. They don't exist right now. Like, I assume when the invisible dudes are invisible, they just don't exist, so you can't attack them. They're an incredibly annoying enemy type. I'm really glad I bursted 5 of them instantly, because otherwise it would have been slow. Attack 3. Congratulations on beating Schist 9 Monstrum Nox. I thought that was Is 10. I guess it is Is 9 then. She currently has like an attack 1 at best. She didn't even have an attack 1. Hit. Ugh. I need to give an eagle eye to somebody. I want information. Because attack 3 is good, I think, because she's just a physical attacker right now. I mean, drop rate. I mean, I could just swap this. I don't actually use it. I'm eventually going to have to actually set up, like, good quartz for the team, but for now I'm just going to keep going with this terrible quartz setup that I've got. Wait, this is going back. No, this is going forwards. So yeah, I came... Wait, no, this might be going back. No, this is going... I wasn't here, I was down below, right? Why would he react? Like, he couldn't see me. Okay, I mean, this doesn't look like there's any progress here. I hate these chameleons. Currently, they're my least favorite enemy. And they have 2 death lined up. Like, come on. That death blow just shouldn't exist, in my opinion. You have to pay attention and work around it. Denim leather. More treasure? Why yes, I have the finest treasures available for you. Simply remove my bottom panel and step into my cellar. Weird. Maybe that's a reference to something that I just don't know. Let's give it to one of them. Let's give it to her. Okay. I think this was where I came from. Frankly, I can't remember where I came from. Okay. Now this was definitely where I came from. Yeah, because down here's the chest that I grabbed. And I could go back, grind some experience, some Sepith, but I don't need it. Well, I do, but I don't want to. Cyril wasn't the worst husband he could have chosen for her. He was among the kindest she was encouraged to court, to be sure. A little plain, but not unattractive. Quite timid, and very awkward. So yes, Cyril is the one that got married to Genevieve. And Cyril is assuming Genevieve has her own lover or love interest that she cannot interact with because of him. This should be the end of this, I assume. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be a cat of some variety, as opposed to a dog. A clearing. This is the farthest I ever made it during my training. Wow. In a multi-week, multi-month training, you only made it this far. The thing is multi-week. And we got here in minutes. Huh? Wait, was this always a dead end? No. There should have been an animal trail up ahead, too. Looks to me like a bunch of trees fell and blocked the road. Must have happened sometime within the last month. But if that's the case, where in the world did that monster run off to? This is not well written. Why would she be like, oh, it has to follow trails and it definitely can't climb over stuff? Hold on. I detect a presence nearby. Did it just laugh at us? You guys really thought that you could waltz in here like you own the place, huh? You shit for brains never oh, this is Wild. So it was Wild that did this garbage after turning into a demon. Who's there? I forgot about him somehow. Is this the real culprit? Were they controlling the monster all along? No, they are a monster. I can't be sure, but this voice... It sounds familiar somehow. As if we've met them before. Oh, that face is something. No, it couldn't be. Here he comes. Get back. What the? A demon? Heh heh heh. Oh, Wald, you're the dumbest individual in the game. Even dumber than Derek. Which is saying something. Because Derek was not smart. Gasp. No, but how? I don't believe it. It's just like the demonization Gnosis caused. It's almost like it could be the exact same source. No way. Don't tell me. Wald, is that you? It's been a long time, Bannings, Orlando. I like that his toes are clipping through the ground. And you're here too, Wazi. Small world. I just need to do something. So it seems. I knew that your taste in fashion was beyond saving. But even I didn't think you'd stoop this low. Low? Piss off. Wait a second. Are you the one who rammed the train off the track? Huh. You even have to ask. Thought you police dogs were supposed to be good at sniffing things out. You honestly think some puny monster could have done something like that? Yes. Because a puny monster is stronger than you. This is going to be a rough fight because these fights are always rough, but the only thing alive with that much power is me. Wald Wallace. No, he's like, I actually hope they explicitly made him like an easier fight than the first fight in the game. Like, he's easier than every other fight in the game, yet he thinks he's strong. That would be fun. Mostly because I don't like Wald. So him being incredibly weak would be very, like, fitting. How vile. Do you even realize what the hell you've done? Yeah, I do. And hey, since you came all the way out here for little ol' me, what do you say we get this party started? Let's see you try to look down on me after I pummel you and your high horse right into the dirt. Crap. So you're going all out on this then? Heh, you wish. I could turn you all to dust with one hand behind my back. I hope he turns to dust. But you know what? I'd rather beat you to a pulp nice and slow, till you're begging for me to put you out of your misery. This power I picked up is the real deal, and now I'm gonna make you eat it. Like, if he's stronger than Joachim Gunter was, that's not what it should be. He should be weaker than Dr. Joachim, because Dr. Joachim was actually competent. Like, this guy is not competent. Let's just inefficiently start with this. And I can't engage right away. You know what, let's do this. I assume he's not weak to much. He's weak to space. And just, yeah, look, he's only slightly resistant to 2 elements. Like, he's not even that strong. In terms of, like, defensive stat. And he can be debuffed? Wow, he's weak. He has 57,000 HP, though. Yeah, he took 1,000 damage from that, like, and he can't even hit? Who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? Photon shot. Probably just a physical attack. Photon shot. I think, unless he has photon shot, he's going to be encouraging. Photon shot. Photon shot. It's just gonna be a lot of photon shots. Just keep the encourage going nice and smooth. Get another photon shot. Fair. I want to see what happens if I pre-prepare the guard. Because that's probably scripted is my assumption. But if I have the guard up, will it still forcibly one-shot? Or will he wait till the guard is not available and then work with it after it? Because it feels like it's just some cheap scripted setup, though. So I can do the exact same start I did, because I want the heal. Except this time, for some reason, I have a burst right away, because I got hit. I don't know why. Like, my current goal is basically doing the same thing. Except before I have to... But before there's a chance, I'm going to guard, see if I can guard his one-shot, or if it's just a scripted garbage one-shot. You can guard it. Of course, I'm probably not going to be able to get enough regen to use it again. He's not going to get in range. Yeah, no point. My assumption is he's going to use it again right now, and I'm not going to be able to avoid it. No, he didn't. Cool. Honestly, more than I expected from this game. And he's going to move back, because he has no reason to move forward. There's basically no benefit to delaying. Except they didn't let me reactivate the S-Break fast enough. Okay, so it is just scripted. Yeah, I figured you'd put up a fight. But man, oh man, don't tell me I got too strong for you. All that effort. We got him to like 80%. And yes, he has unreasonable one-shot because it's story garbage, but all that effort and we barely even made a dent on it in him. Haha, what's wrong, Wazzy? Not gonna drop a witty comeback? Maybe flash one of those pretty boy smirks and blow this off like you do everything else? Come on, I was looking forward to this. It'll make it all the more fun when I shut that mouth of yours for good. Walt, where in the goddess's name did you get your hands on Gnosis? That's right. Save for the samples taken for analysis, the supply manufactured by Joachim Gunter should have been disposed of. Damn it, Walt. Where the hell did you get it from? Heh, who knows? And don't get it twisted. The drug ain't what's giving me all the strength. No, it is the drug. Newsflash, punks. It's been inside me all along. The Gnosis is just a trigger to help bring it out. That's what sets me apart from that quack Joachim. His power was never his in the first place. He does have a point. Unlike what happened with Joachim, he doesn't seem in danger of going berserk. Whatever it is he's drawing his power from, he's managed to retain control over it. What the heck? Oh, a monster! They should really just leave. Mireille, second lieutenant. This writing is bad. It's like, no offense to the CGF, but considering how easily they were beaten by the SSS when they were controlled, they're not going to help that much here. But they are because it's scripted. Second lieutenant! Thank goodness you're here. Does that mean the repair work is finished? How would it be finished? But for now, yes. We came as fast as we could, but just what is that thing? Heh. I think I'll call it quits for today. Yo, SSS chumps. And you especially, Wazi. You'd better give me the time of my life next time we meet. Or else. Just like that foot race we had back in the downtown district. It's the least you could do. Bastard. Wald. Where do you think you're going? All personnel to battle positions. Missile fire? Missile fire? Is authorized. Yes, ma'am. Shooting some missiles. Shooting some missiles. Those aren't missiles, those are rockets. I don't think that's the definition of missile. I'm pretty sure missiles need to be more than shoulder mounted. Oh, actually, I guess if you think about it, it's actually even dumber to call them missiles, because the definition of a missile is an object or weapon that is fired, thrown, dropped, or otherwise projected at a target, a projectile. So like, a bullet is a missile, an arrow is a missile, a rock is a missile. But other than that definition, it's a guided missile or a ballistic missile. In military terminology, a missile is a guided airborne ranged weapon capable of self-propelled flight, usually by a jet engine or rocket motor. I don't think a rocket-propelled grenade type thing counts as a missile. After the attack, the SSS, along with Mireille's unit, scoured the vast, dense forest for the demonized Wald Wallace. Unfortunately, however, their efforts ultimately came up short. As the night wore on, the decision was made to abandon the search. The SSS then returned to the city at around midnight and fell asleep, so tired that they forgot to eat the hot pot Kia so lovingly prepared. Whew, time for rebellion by Kia. They didn't even eat her hot pot. They deserve to be, I don't know, fired. I hope there's a good justification for Wald being competent, like, because functionally he is just a low-tier thug. There's no reason that he'd be better with the Gnosis than other people. So the Gnosis, if the Gnosis was provided by someone more competent, like from the Society of Ouroboros, then that would make sense. And if it's just sort of a different mechanism, how'd it go? Not good. They don't know anything. Obviously, we've been talking to them for weeks and they've just not known where he was. No one has seen Wald in days. Looks like he's been keeping his little lackeys in the dark. They wanted to know where he is just as bad as we did. Yeah, they seem desperate. I see. We tried asking the Testaments. Why would they know? But it didn't get us anywhere. There are no leads on Wald whatsoever. I mean, I don't think there's been any proof of demon people turning back human. So what they're looking for is a demon, and that would stick out to everybody. However, he was spotted shambling drunkenly around the neighborhood for a while, prior to his disappearance. There's no way to tell how that fits into all of this. What changed between then and now? better question is, where the hell did he get his hands on Gnosis? He could have technically just been smoking the grass, maybe. We don't know. We don't know the mechanism. Like, it could have been consuming the pleroma grass is all he needs. Are you alright, Wazi? You're not looking too good. I'm alright. Just a bit chilly from the rain. I've already asked Abbas and the others to continue gathering info. Let's put Wald on the side for now, and return to the SSS building. That's probably for the best. At least we have Kia's breakfast to look forward to. Please be the joke, whereas payback for disregarding her, she gives them a single dry sardine. I don't know what we'd do without her. Please. Please. They deserve their comeuppance for forgetting the hot pot. It wasn't their fault, but phew, now that was a satisfying meal. You said it. Nothing like a hot bowl of porridge to chase off the chills. Indeed, the chicken and eggs were a nice touch. Thank you for the food, Kia. It was delicious. Hehe. I just used the stuff we were supposed to have for hot pot yesterday. Are you full, Wazi? Yeah. It took comfort food to a whole new level. My compliments to the chef, Kia. I'm glad you liked it. It's good to see you guys are back in fighting form. Just to let you know, the CGF is going to keep investigating the Wald Wallace case. Try not to dwell on it too much. Whatever you say. Still, Wald had to have acquired that Gnosis somehow. We have to figure out where it came from, no matter what. Technically, there could be a different mechanism that made him transform, but it is Gnosis as confirmed by Wald. The second division's already been sent out to do just that. And from what I hear, the first division's also looking into whether or not the major powers are involved in any way. My point being, you shouldn't trust them. Don't press the issue by getting all keyed up. Yes, sir. Were they able to restore the railway after the derailment yesterday? Okay, at least only one was working, because one of the derailed tracks... There's no way they would fix it that quickly, to a safe, like, verified level. But I guess the safety standards are probably less. Yeah, only one of the tracks was functional by yesterday evening, but they managed to get the other one going overnight. All things considered, they got the job done without any hassle. Phew, thank goodness. The Transcontinental Railroad is a vital part of the transportation network. Chaos would ensue if we're still non-operational. It'd have been the perfect ammo for Ereboni and Calvar to give us even more shit than they already do. Yeah, no doubt about that. So, should we check the terminal for support requests? It's about time for today's batch to come in. Yes, let's. Bring. Hey, we got a phone call. I'll get it. That's a really annoying phone call. Phone chime. Hello, this is the Crossbow Police Special Support Section. Morning. It's me, Michelle, the guild receptionist. Oh, good morning. Did you have a chance to look over our report on the society? We did. It was helpful, to be sure. I contacted HQ over in Lehman, and they're currently analyzing the info. Though, considering how elusive these guys are, I don't know how much we'll be able to find. I see. Is that why you called us? Probably not. Oh, no. There's one more thing. I had a quick question for you, actually. Have you seen Lynn and Aeolia around lately? We saw them at the hospital yesterday, last I recall. I see. Honestly, what the devil are those two girls up to? Are you having trouble contacting them? Sure am. I wasn't able to get through to their enigmas last night. Oh well, this does happen every so often, so I'm not too worried about them. Is that so? Well, no need to fret your little head over it. I'm sure you've got more than enough on your plate. You're dealing with the leader of those delinquents, aren't you? That's a job and a half. Yeah, I suppose. Well, anywho, if you happen to spot either of them, give me a ring ASAP, okay? Keep up the good work. Bye-bye now. Thanks, Michelle. You too. Sounds like it was from the Bracer Guild. Something happened. Oh, yeah. They explained. Lynn and Aeolia. Those are two ladies who know how to hold their own. Eidos was generous with her gifts to them. Yup, just the way I like them, especially Aeolia. Hers are a beaut, second only to Cecile, of course. I don't believe those were the gifts he was referring to. It's all the more reason to worry about them, honestly. The Bracers seemed like the type to keep a tight handle on their schedules. Yeah, and when we fought those two, every move they made felt calculated. Well, if you have time to spare, why not go and visit the guild? We all have to look out for each other in times like these. Right? We'll keep it in mind. Boys, are you guys leaving now? Will you make it back for Hot Pot this time? Yeah, this time for sure. Definitely not a flag that we won't make it back. We'll try to come home as early as we can. Sorry, Kia. You went through so much trouble to prepare it yesterday. We didn't expect to be out the entire night. Oh, it's okay. That just means you're working extra hard, right? I just want to do what I can to help too. Da-da-da-da. Kia. Haha, she's too powerful for us. According to today's weather forecast, the rain should stop in the afternoon. So we're going to get back on time, but Kia's going to be gone. Let's blow through these jobs then. We got a hot pot to enjoy tonight. Absolutely. Considering it's day 3, there's at most one more day, I'm pretty sure, in this chapter. So there's something big has to happen soon. This one's done this round. Geofront D sector. I don't know if I've ever been to the D sector. Southern end of the downtown district. Huh. Mireille, reckless vehicle. Are we finally gonna get rid of those? Oh yeah, see, these are all short. Which most of them are short most of the time, but I think that also supports this being maybe the last day of the chapter. Battle of Luster. Pierre's marital peril. Theme park trouble. Ingenuity quartz. I think that combines some other ones. I think the Ingenuity quartz might combine Eagle Eye with something. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. Ingenuity's a... EP slowly recovers on the field. That's not that good. I mean, it's better than Petrify. Probably better than Petrify. He doesn't really use the EP though. My quartz setup is really bad. She still has level 1 Mirage. 3, 2, 1, 3. She's still only level 1 Mirage. It's taking forever to level up. It's really weird. So it needs 1100 to level. Yeah. It's really quite odd that it hasn't leveled yet. I guess I haven't had a lot of combat at all. Like, I think she's been using Mirage since I got her and she still hasn't leveled. So yes, today I'm gonna have to cope. They're excited about Hot Pot. Ice Ledge to eat Hot Pot. Hehe. I made sure to buy a whole bunch of ingredients yesterday. Now I don't have to go shopping in the rain. Ha, smart move, Kia. We can use those extra ingredients for today's Hot Pot. Be a good girl and watch over the place for us until then. You got it, Lloyd. Come home safe, okay? Yeah, we're gonna come home safe and she's not gonna be here. Because that feels like that's what that's foreshadowing. I don't think I have any reason to check any of these rooms. I'm gonna have gifts to drop off, but... Ooh, a model plane. Is this Ellie's room? Tio's room for sure. Noelle's room. And Kia's. Stuffed plush. A big bear. And a penguin. Cool. And there's nothing out here. But yes, I'm stopping here because this is an obvious stopping point. Today, well, tomorrow, but, well, not tomorrow, I'm actually just going to take tomorrow as a break because today was long. And I want to do this chapter next on Monday. I have one Taste of Crossbell left, which is the St. Ursula. Then presumably the trash people in the residential district. And Geofront D. And it's open, so I don't need to get a key. So I'm probably going to do this one first, then this one, then that one. But before I do all that, I have to talk to everyone again. Which means there's some people that I definitely want to talk to. There's people in Crossbow that have fun stories. There's people... there's a mine story that's going on that's kind of interesting. I can check in at Armorica. And I think I'm going to try and do fishing before this chapter ends. So I'm going to probably do it before I progress the story any further. Maybe I'll not do anything tomorrow. Then on the weekend I'll do fishing. Or I'll do the fishing tomorrow. Something like that. But I'm not going to make story progress until after I fish. Because I want to make sure that I don't miss fishing. And it's supposedly chapter 4 is some sort of point of no return. And I might not be able to fish once I get to chapter 4. So I just want to make sure I have it done before then. So that's where I'm stopping today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.